Hello, I am Danielle Sommerfelt, the Member Experience Manager at First Alliance Credit Union. First, congratulations. Earning the title of a mom is the honor of a lifetime, and I can't wait to share some of my tips and advice with you to prepare financially for adding your new little person into your budget. But first, I would like to tell you a little bit about First Alliance Credit Union. First Alliance is a full-service financial institution offering a wide range of products and services, such as checking accounts and loans, to help you conveniently manage your money and meet your financial goals. What makes us a little bit different from a traditional bank, however, is that we are a credit union. That means we are a not-for-profit financial cooperative owned by our own account holders, not stockholders. So when we make a profit, we return that back to you through lower rates on our loans and higher interest rates on our deposits, and fewer fees than a traditional bank would offer. Another thing that sets us apart is the reason I am here today is our financial literacy. At First Alliance Credit Union, it is one of our missions to ensure our members have the knowledge they need to make smart financial decisions at every stage of their life, like the one you're in now, becoming a mom. Now, I know firsthand that becoming a parent can simultaneously be the most exciting and stressful time of your life, which is why I'm here today to share 6 important tips to help you financially prepare for the cost that will come with adding this new little person into your family. Tip number 1, pay off debt now. Focusing on paying off debts such as high interest credit cards will alleviate the number of bills you are paying once the baby arrives. You'll soon have expenses such as daycare and medical bills to be concerned about. Not having additional debt payments to make will streamline your finances so your budget doesn't feel so tight once the baby arrives. If you do have debt from multiple creditors, it would be a good idea to consolidate that debt. While it won't remove the payment obligation completely, it will decrease the number of monthly payments you need to make down to 1 and can often reduce the total amount you're paying out overall, thus simplifying your finances and providing a little extra breathing room to your budget. It is also important to note that you should avoid using credit cards to purchase these items that you need for the baby. Adding unnecessary items to your current budget load is not a good idea right now. While buying all the new items for your baby is fun, you don't need to buy the latest and greatest version of everything. Be considerate of your costs and only buy what you feel that you can afford with each paycheck, and your wallet will thank you. Which leads me into my next tip. Tip number 2, identify the must-haves versus the nice-to-haves. There is no doubt there's a long list of items that you will need to take care of your new baby. It will be important to decide ahead of time what items are a true need and which items are a want. Needs would be items such as car seats, diapers, and feeding supplies. Wants would be items such as swings, changing tables, and toys. This doesn't mean you can't purchase some of those items on the nice-to-have list. It just means those are the items you will have to plan to purchase after the must-haves are taken care of and you have the money to buy them. If you're working on a tight budget already, consider buying some items secondhand, such as nursery furniture or clothing, to cut costs where you can. Babies grow quickly, and it makes sense to save on clothes by purchasing secondhand when they will still only be in them for a very short period of time. Additionally, think about when you'll actually need these items. Sometimes in the excitement, you can get caught up in all the things that you think that the baby will need before they're born. But there are many items that you can wait to purchase until after the baby is born and is a little bit older, such as a high chair, baby gates, and most toys. Number 3, know your medical coverage. It's going to be very important that you have a basic understanding of your medical coverage before the baby is born, while also taking into consideration your birth plan. Some people may prefer to use a medical provider, or they may choose a doula or midwife service. Regardless of which type of birth plan you choose to go with, you need to be aware of what your out-of-pocket cost, such as deductible and copay, will be for both the regular doctor visits and the birth itself. The best way to determine this is to speak directly to your insurance company. Ask questions such as, are prenatal care, labor and delivery covered benefits under my policy? Will I need pre-authorization for any prenatal care? What common prenatal, labor and delivery needs are not covered under my policy? Which hospital in my area is in my insurance policy network? If you're interested in non-traditional deliveries, like a home birth with a midwife, ask about coverage for these types of expenses as well. Also, depending on your medical provider's billing practice and your due date, you may get caught having 2 deductibles if your prenatal care happens in one calendar year and your baby is delivered in the next. Some medical providers package their charges to insurance companies in what is called global billing, which can include all prenatal and delivery charges. Ask your OBGYN whether he or she plans to use global billing, so you'll know where you stand ahead of time, especially if your pregnancy or birth can span between 2 different covered years. Understanding your medical coverage will allow you and your partner to come up with a plan to be able to afford these large expenses before you receive the bill, which will also alleviate some stress. This is also a great opportunity to find out how much your insurance will increase to add your new little baby onto your health plan and what steps you'll need to take to get your child added to your policy. Number 4, know your family medical leave plan. Knowing how much paid and unpaid time you and your partner will have during your maternity leave is going to strongly influence your finances in the first few months of your baby being born. If you don't already know what your employer's family leave policy is, talk to your human resources department to find out. While FMLA laws provide you up to 12 weeks of time off for maternity leave, most employers do not offer paid time off to cover your wages during this time. Generally, depending on your company's policies, you will need to use PTO that you've accumulated to cover your income. However, if you have short-term disability coverage policy, these typically will cover a portion of your income while you are off on maternity leave. If you're not fortunate enough to have PTO or disability coverage to rely on during this time, you will likely need to start saving to help cover up the loss of the income during your leave. Which brings me to my next tip. Tip number 5. Start saving money yesterday. The more money you and your partner can put into a savings account now, the less stress you'll feel about the changes that are going to occur with your budget in the coming months. There is no specific number for how much you should have in your savings account. It's going to be different for each person based on many factors. A good place to start is determining how much money you will need to save for your monthly bills with maternity leave. One great way to get started with the savings is to gain a ballpark idea of how much it will cost you to have daycare for your child. Take that amount and start putting that money into a savings account before your baby is born. This will help you provide a budget that could be affordable with those large expenses, and you can build up a savings account quickly. If you're not planning to return to work after your baby is born, this is still a great way to start paring down your spending to accommodate your decreased family income while simultaneously building up your savings account. Having a healthy amount of saved will quickly become even more important once your family is only supported on one income. Tip 6, ways to save for your baby's future. It's never too soon to plan for your child's future. The cost of college, their first car, athletic activities, or summer camps. CDs are a great option to save for your child's future. CD stands for Certificate of Deposit. They are an easy option for you to save your money. You can agree to put your money into a deposit with the credit union for a specific length of time, and then we pay you back in higher interest rates than our regular savings accounts as a thank you. Plus, our youth and teen CDs have a unique feature where you can contribute additional funds at any time. You just need to start with $100 to open the CD. The features on our youth and teen CDs make a great gift option while asking friends and family for gift ideas. Another option is to set up a Coverall Education Savings Account, often called ESA, formerly known as Educational IRA. This savings account is specific for saving for your child's education cost from kindergarten through college. An ESA can be opened at any time before the child reaches the age of 18, and contributions can be made up to that age. Contributions are made pre-taxed funds, typically invested in individual stocks and bonds. Interest income accumulates on the ESA is not taxed, so you can withdraw those funds tax-free on qualified education expenses. Examples of qualified expenses for college are room and board, tuition and fees, computer equipment, and internet access. For K through 12, tuition fees, books, supplies, tutoring, extended day programs, special needs services, uniform, and transportation are all qualified expenses. An ESA is a great way to start saving for your child's education. You only need $10 to start an ESA, and you can make automatic deposits into the account. At First Alliance Credit Union, we can help you with the CD and the ESA. As you can see, there are a lot of things to consider when preparing your budget for the cost that comes with parenthood and your child's future. At First Alliance Credit Union, we can help you create that financial plan that you need to make this transition more enjoyable. You can visit our website, firstalliancecu.com, to get started working with us today.